You are transparent. I see many things. I see videos within videos. And you will soon find out what that means. On the prompting of Super Captain Black 1, one of my subscribers, we're going to pick the middle region of House Harkonnen's land. The battle with the other houses has intensified, and we are now forced to engage in some selected offensive maneuvers. The Harkonnen are being extremely troublesome in your next region, and we must ask that you remove their presence from the area. Indeed, also, I'm very metrosexual. Yes, indeed. So please go and fulfill your mission for House Atreides. Now, before we get to the actual mission, it is time for some explanation. See, up here you can pick on the Mentat, and he will explain certain things to you, and I will explain even more than he does. We will begin with the most basic of all, Shai-Hulud. These enormous creatures are attracted by vibrations on the surface and will often attack and devour both personnel and vehicles, which is a lie. They do not devour personnel, they only devour vehicles. Rocks are the only sure defense against these creatures. Well, at least that's right. Now, for purely educational purposes, mind you, I will show you how worm sign looks, since the AI will often refer to a worm sign. And whenever they talk about that, it means that a sandworm is approaching and has become visible to us. So a worm sign looks like this. Now, of course, in-game it does not look nearly as, well, epic. However, also for pure educational purposes, this is how a worm attack should sound and look like. Enjoy.
What a monster!
Thanks for that comment, Gurneyman. Now, let's move on. Next up, we got the Trike and the Quad. The Trike is a three-wheeled vehicle produced by the Light Factory. It is fast, well-armored, and carries light weapons for defense. Trikes may be utilized for production against enemy raids and scouting for spice fields. Now, that's the only true thing he just said. They are good for scouting, especially for spice fields. Trust me, after the first few missions, you will rarely see Trikes outside the enemy's camp at all. Now, next up, Quads. Quads are four-wheeled vehicles with strong arm and powerful weapons. That's not true. But do go on. Like Trikes, they are an efficient defense system. Notice a pattern, how he always speaks of defense? With Quads and Trikes you should be able to defend against most attacks. Again, that's a lie. A group of heavy troopers could take you out when you just have Trikes and Quads. Anyway, Quads were featured in the David Lynch movie as well, and this is how they looked like in the movie. Now there is some resemblance between the quad in the movie and in the game, don't you agree? Anyway, let's go on. Speaking of heavy troopers, let's have a look at them. The heavy troopers are armored with powerful weapons and strong armor. What, that's all you have to say? Anyway, they're using mostly rockets against your trikes and quads, which makes them pretty effective actually. House Harkonnen will be using them extensively in this mission against us. You'll see. Now, last but not least, let's have a look at the carryall. The carryall is capable of transporting the harvester between spice fields and the refinery. It has no offensive capabilities or weapons and only light armor. In my last video I mentioned how the carryall looks different from the one in the movies. It looks like this.
Carryalls lower the harvester to the sand and lift it off to safety when a worm attacks. Worms attack all rhythmic vibrations.
Now you see, the redesign of the carryall makes sense to me. Why they redesigned the harvesters as well? Not so much. Anyway, let's go on. Let's see, is there something else I'd like to show you today? No, you know what? I think it's enough. Do not wish to bore you guys to death. So let's get to the mission.
Yes, sir. Moving in. Yes, sir.
Warning, sandworms. Shai-Hulud roam you, devouring anything on the sand.
Warning, worm sign.
See that?
Yes, sir.
There's the sandworm.
Moving in.
And it didn't devour
Reporting.
my soldier.
Reporting.
And that's what I mean when I say that the game is
Acknowledged.
lying to you.
Yes, sir. Reporting.
Sandworms, in my experience, only eat vehicles.
Affirmative.
Tanks, harvesters, quads, trikes. They never eat people.
Acknowledged.
They do that in Dune 2000
Reporting.
and Emperor, but not here. So do not be deceived.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
So, like usual, we go scouting for some spies with our trikes.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative.
As mentioned before, that function they serve well. But let me take this time to explain something else. See, the reason why you won't see trikes or quads or foot soldiers that much in later missions is because in gaming there is something called dominant strategy. Which means that if there is a clear way to win each game, you will always go for that
Acknowledged.
strategy.
Construction complete.
And using quads and trikes in later missions when you have tanks is pointless.
Affirmative. Reporting.
They cannot damage tanks fast enough, or enough at all, and tanks will just kill them with a few shots. We will get tanks next mission.
Affirmative.
So this is why after this tutorial missions, quads and trikes and infantry lose all value.
Construction complete.
The heavy troopers the Harkonnen use in this map, they have value. Oh, look, it's a pre-spice
Construction
mess.
complete. Spice bloom located.
That will help. As I was saying, the Harkonnen troops, they have purpose even later. It's actually a pretty well using strategy
Reporting.
in the 4th Harkonnen map to go with tanks and troopers. Because,
Warning, worm sign.
look, Shai-Hulud is back.
Yes, sir.
Where'd he go?
Moving out. Reporting.
Oh, what was that?
Reporting.
Construction complete.
Some sort of graphical glitch. you might notice that the game is a little faster than it was before. I tuned up the frame rate and suddenly
Acknowledged.
Bandicam does not produce as much lag as before.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting.
So we got some spies here, cornered away from sandworms. So we're gonna use that for starters.
Reporting.
But we keep exploring.
Construction complete.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Now, unlike previous missions, the Harkonnen do have some pre-placed enemy units
Construction complete.
that will attack us. Look at that.
Reporting.
Shai-Hulud is hunting our
Construction
tribe.
complete.
See?
Reporting. Affirmative.
Also, the Mentat lied again by implying that there's nothing you can do against sandworms. But then why do they have life bars?
Reporting. Acknowledged.
I'll show you why. Because there is a way to get rid of worms.
Reporting.
Now,
Acknowledged.
an interesting fact.
Reporting.
Units of House Atreides are the only ones to never attack the worm on their own. See? They
Reporting.
ignore it.
Acknowledged.
I have to order them.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Now, what is true is that you can't kill worms. They don't
Warning.
die.
Worm sign.
Now, something that is true, however, is the following.
Construction.
If you damage them to the point of their life bar turning yellow, they leave.
Construction complete.
See, the life bar has green, yellow, and red. If you damage them to this point, they just leave. Dig away. Go home, sleep their damage off. I can explain it. I have no idea if sandworms even sleep. I mean, they eat machines and sand, and their presence produces...
Construction complete.
Enemy drop.
Warning. Harkonnen unit approaching.
See, these are heavy
Yes,
troops,
sir. Infantry out.
and
Yes,
they
sir.
use
Our
rockets.
base is under attack.
See? Anyway, as I was saying, all I know is that sandworms attack everything that vibrates or goes in a rhythmic way on the sand, and that their presence has something to do with spice. Since Paul commented in the movie, and in the books obviously, that sandworms' presence brings that faint smell of cinnamon with them, typical smell of spice.
Construction complete.
You notice, by the way, that the trooper
Construction complete.
is firing a gun way more damaging than our infantry does.
Atreides
You
harvester
can distinguish
deployed.
that by the sound they create. The sound of the heavy trooper firing sounds more like a quad, while the infantry firing sounds way less damaging.
Reporting.
Oh yeah, and sandworms have a pretty thick hide, so this will take a while.
Reporting.
However, the worm came closer to us for some reason, so now we can use some
Yes,
more
sir.
units to
Moving out.
get him to leave. Let's call it that. I'm not killing it, I'm persuading the sandworm to leave.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Construction complete.
Won't be long.
Reporting.
And see,
Acknowledged.
again, the quad is not attacking on its own.
Reporting. Affirmative.
If we were House Harkonnen,
Acknowledged.
my troops would attack that sandworm any moment they can. They really hate sandworms. Bless the Maker and his water. Bless his coming and going. May his cleansing cleanse the world.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Oh, don't mind
Reporting.
that. Also, there's more than one sandworm in this map.
Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting.
Construction complete.
Affirmative.
Warning. Worm sign.
See? Now, there's another way how you can get rid of sandworms.
Reporting.
Just feed them enough.
Affirmative.
I have this memory that feeding 3 units to a sandworm will make it go away. So you could just sacrifice enough quads to give him some bellyache and it will leave.
Radar activated.
But I see no reason to yet.
Construction complete.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Reporting.
Atreides harvester deployed.
Good. Now we're getting some spice.
Construction complete.
Now I can expand up here to the huge spice field I created with that pre-spice mass spice pool.
Construction complete.
Now, as I mentioned before,
Construction complete.
this map has some pre-placed Harkonnen,
Reporting.
but the real attacks that will start very shortly
Construction complete.
originate from a base, and that base is creating units on its own.
Acknowledged.
This pre-programmed enemy drop we just experienced, those will stop. Maybe there's 1 or 2 more, and then
Construction
the AI will
complete.
take over and will attack us on their own
Reporting.
with
Affirmative.
quads and heavy
Construction
troopers. See,
Acknowledged.
Harkonnen could build trikes as well, but even the AI knows that trikes are useless except for scouting
Report.
purposes.
Affirmative.
See,
Acknowledged.
speed brings
Construction
nothing to the
complete.
table in this game,
Affirmative.
since not even the AI is using hit and run tactics. They just stand there and shoot until they die.
Warning. Worm sign.
Where?
Construction.
Oh, there he is.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Maybe we
Reporting.
can get
Acknowledged.
this one to
Reporting.
leave as well.
Reporting. Reporting.
Where'd he go? He was right here.
Reporting.
I
Reporting.
can't click on him.
Reporting.
I'll get you next time. So we have to hurry up. Our harvester will have that field empty in a
Reporting.
couple of minutes,
Construction complete.
and the carrier left already.
Unit approaching.
Ah, another
Reporting.
drop.
Affirmative.
Our base is under attack.
Reporting.
Now here's another little trick with the harvester. Ah, didn't meant to do that.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
See, infantry can be really easily be killed by a harvester like this. Ah yeah.
Report. Yes, sir.
House Atreides, only defending themselves. Honorable, goody two-shoe House Atreides. They would
Reporting.
never be in any way cruel to their enemies.
Construction complete.
Now I'm confused. Are there 3 worms or are there 2 worms? Since one has already been persuaded to
Construction
leave,
complete.
so we need more spies. My confusion stems from the following.
Acknowledged.
Sandworms usually have a certain range they go,
Acknowledged.
and then they stop and turn around,
Yes,
and
sir.
we get some reinforcements.
Moving out.
Kinda like a
Yes,
spawn
sir.
point.
Moving
If
out.
they
Yes, sir.
move too
Moving
far
out.
away from their spawn point, they give up and return home, looking for the next feast.
Atreides harvester deployed.
Alright, more spice for us.
Reporting.
Atreides harvester deployed.
Acknowledged.
I wish I had a carry-all. But it looks like... ah, there it is. Not sure if I can do the little trick again, since both harvesters are nearly empty.
Construction complete.
And that one harvester is way too close to the refinery for the return trick to
Warning.
trigger.
Worm sign.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
You are quite persistent, aren't you?
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Also, I have good news. Next mission, we get the upgraded version of the concrete. Which means this entire place one tile down and then place the next tile down. That will end next mission. Thankfully. It's just pointless.
Reporting.
In Dune 2000 they didn't even bother with a single tile, they just gave you the 2x2 concrete slabs right from the get-go and gave you a 3x3
Construction
as an upgrade. Light Factory. The Light Factory produces light attack vehicles.
radar deactivated.
Ah, yeah. Need more power.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
So what's
Warning.
confusing me?
Harkonnen unit approaching.
Another drop? Nope. This time the AI triggered. See? Now they're sending troops against us on their own.
Out. Yes, sir.
Our base is under attack.
Nasty little
Reporting.
buggers.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting.
Now there are a few things that you
Acknowledged.
will eventually notice when you play Dune 2 for a while.
Enemy unit
For
destroyed.
instance, sandworms very rarely eat enemy units. They eat yours. They really love yours. No matter if you're Harkonnen or Atreides or Ordos. But for some reason, when a sandworm is prompted to eat an enemy unit, they just
Reporting.
don't. See, this quad would be a feast for any normal sandworm, but they just don't care.
Complete. Construction complete. Atreides unit deployed. Radar activated. Enemy unit destroyed.
Second.
Worm sign.
See? There he comes
Yes,
again.
sir.
Too late
Reporting.
for the feast, friend.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting.
Also,
Construction complete.
whoops, didn't mean to attack the spies. Next. The enemy usually comes from one direction and one direction only. They have a certain path that they
Construction.
move along to get to your base and attack you. And the AI never deviates from that path, they always use the same path. Now,
Reporting.
last
Atreides
mission I said that this mission is the hardest in the entire campaign.
Reporting.
That is not because it's difficult, but because it's tedious. Tedious. See, the AI will constantly attack you, and they have guardians at their base, so you need a certain amount of units
Reporting.
to defend your own base, and you need a certain amount of units to attack them and succeed. Now the thing is, the unpatched Dune 2 only allows you 25 units. At most. 25. 25. Just think about that for a moment. In StarCraft you can have 200. I think in Warcraft 2 you can have 50 or 75? Not sure. But here you can only have 25. Now it's nigh impossible to have enough attackers and attackers at the same time with that small number. So the best strategy I found was to slowly push them back while they attack you. So to combine defense and offense into one.
Atreides harvester deployed.
So whenever
Reporting.
the Harkonnen attack
Affirmative.
and you successfully
Reporting.
pushed them back,
Construction complete.
you advance a little
Atreides
forward.
deployed.
and you do this 3 to
Acknowledged.
4 times,
Reporting.
and then after a while your front line will be right in front of their doorstep. And then their defenders will attack you, and when they are destroyed, you can destroy their base.
Reporting.
Construction
Now,
complete.
for this strategy to work, you need two things. First, a lot of spies. Second, 2
Warning.
refineries.
Harkonnen unit approaching.
And
Yes, sir.
you have to be very, very
Atreides
observant.
unit deployed.
Because if an
Reporting.
enemies
Affirmative.
comes through like this,
Harvester
your base will be
deployed.
defenseless.
Yes, sir.
So you have to
Infantry
catch
out.
all of them.
Reporting.
AI-controlled units will stop their advance the moment someone attacks them.
Yes, sir.
Look.
Infantry out.
Construction complete.
See? Now those soldiers attacked that trooper, and he's firing back. Immediately.
Reporting.
Construction.
And that's how you win,
Enemy unit
at least in
destroyed.
this mission.
Reporting.
Now the last missions barely took 30 minutes. This one takes almost an hour.
Enemy unit destroyed.
And now that guy's corpse is part of the concrete.
Reporting.
Construction complete.
Reporting.
And it seems we found their base, just by accident. And as you can see, they have no trikes at all. Just troopers and quads. See, they're producing units.
Reporting.
Yeah, that trike will probably not make it home.
Reporting.
But don't worry, friend, you die for your duke.
Reporting.
And for the duke, you will explode in a gruesome explosion,
Acknowledge.
dyeing the sand crimson red.
Yes, sir.
And for the duke,
Atreides
you will never
unit
see your
destroyed.
home planet again. For the duke,
Construction complete.
who is never mentioned. Even Hayat speaks of the High Command, so I have no clue if there even is a duke in Dune 2. Oh, watch this. See? There's Shai-Hulud, and the Harkonnen are chasing it.
Deployed.
See?
Yes, sir. Reporting.
You go and work.
Affirmative.
But I'm not... Now I know why I don't pay you.
Warning. Worm sign.
Yes, sir.
Whoops. Quad, please. More quads, please. It seems my track stirred up the AI, and oh look, see? They're shooting the Sandworm,
Construction complete. Atreides unit deployed.
but too little, too late.
Unit deployed. Atreides harvester deployed.
Reporting.
I wish I had a carry-all.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Atreides unit deployed. Atreides unit deployed.
Reporting.
Warning. Harkonnen unit.
Let's have a better look at this base.
Acknowledged. Reporting.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Ah, nothing worth building right now.
Deployed.
Oh! Where are you going? Oh, you're going up here, huh? I'm sorry, I can't let you do that.
Reporting.
Just what do you think you're doing, Dave?
Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Sick 'em.
Reporting.
I
Acknowledged.
think this strike will make it. So now we can see the enemy base, the war, WOR, that's where the heavy troopers come out,
Reporting. Reporting. Affirmative.
Light
Reporting.
vehicle
Acknowledged.
factory. Whoa, I do not like where he's
Reporting.
going.
Acknowledged.
Stop him! Stop him!
Our base is under attack.
You
Acknowledged.
son of a
Reporting.
sand troll.
Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
There comes another one.
Affirmative. Reporting.
Warning. Worm sign.
Acknowledged.
You really are persistent. Oh! Someone just triggered a spice bloom.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
Seems it was an Harkonnen.
Yes, sir. Reporting.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Warning. Harkonnen unit approaching.
Reporting.
You goddamn bastard. You know, the trick about the heavy infantry is the following.
Reporting.
They can only use their rockets if their enemy is more than one tile away from them.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Quite obviously.
Moving out.
It's the same with missile tanks later.
Moving out.
If you're too close, they go nuts. But unlike the heavy troopers, missile tanks do not have close combat capabilities. Their rockets just go fly all the way.
Reporting.
Wait, where are you going?
Reporting. Acknowledged.
I cannot let you pass.
Construction complete. Atreides unit deployed.
Still going.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Yeah, see?
Construction complete.
That
Atreides
quad
unit
almost escaped us,
Report.
but the moment
Enemy unit
one of our
destroyed.
units shot at him, he stopped dead in his
Reporting.
tracks
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
to fight us.
Infantry out. Reporting.
You know, the AI would actually be quite dangerous if they
Yes,
were
sir.
able to
Moving out.
ignore that
Yes,
trick.
sir. Moving out. Reporting.
If they just move to their destination regardless,
Reporting.
they could do some pretty
Affirmative.
nifty damage. Oh, hello.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Infantry. Yes,
Stop
sir.
him.
Infantry. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Infantry. Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Also, enemy units will keep firing at the same guy who shot at them first. Even if there's an enemy,
Reporting.
excuse me, even if there's a unit
Reporting.
from your army that's more damaged, they just keep shooting at the one that attacked them first. It's kind of like aggro,
Enemy unit destroyed.
but fixed aggro.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting.
So, slowly I'm trying to shift the front line towards their
Moving
base.
out. Reporting.
And just keep exploring.
Construction complete.
And again, Shai-Hulud is not in the mood to eat some Harkonnen.
Destroyed.
Reporting.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't eat Harkonnen either. Ugh.
Atreides harvester deployed. Atreides unit destroyed.
Oh, someone died. For the Duke! Remember, for the Duke.
Reporting.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Acknowledged.
Now, this is an important stage in this mission.
Yes, sir.
We have to stop all the Harkonnen dead in their tracks,
Atreides harvester
right where we
deployed.
want them. Which
Reporting.
means there.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting.
Construction complete. Construction complete. Atreides unit deployed.
Reporting.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Reporting. Affirmative.
You keep exploring, that's all you're good for anyway.
Enemy unit
Okay, these
destroyed.
squads finished their job. Ah, I reached my limit. See, unable to create more. Got 25 units. I'm not sure if that counts harvesters as well. Maybe? I guess so.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Also, if you think about it, if Hayat is right and quads are good for defense, Why would you
Yes,
use
sir.
them for? Whoa!
Infantry? Yes,
No,
sir.
no,
Infantry
stop.
reporting.
Stop him.
Enemy unit destroyed.
No, stop him.
Infantry out. Reporting.
Okay,
Acknowledged.
so the AI goes
Reporting.
this path, so we have to put some quads
Reporting.
there as well.
Acknowledged. Reporting.
Stop him.
Acknowledged.
Stop him! Okay, you got him.
Reporting.
Just for shits and giggles. Oh, what was that?
Construction.
Seems like our friend suddenly
Reporting.
got hunger after all.
Acknowledged.
Got hungry after all.
Reporting.
Developed some hunger.
Acknowledged.
Strange. It's almost like every time I look at the Sandworm, he
Acknowledged.
doesn't want to, but the moment I do something else,
Reporting.
Sandy is getting really hungry all of a sudden.
Report. Affirmative.
Construction.
Well, let's just hope that was the
Construction
only unit
complete.
it will eat. Sorry.
Acknowledged.
Sandworms do not have ganders, I think.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting.
Oh boy.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting. Reporting.
Notice I never build any infantry, I'm just using the
Reporting.
ones the game gives me.
Acknowledge.
What the hell, again? Where? What?
Acknowledged.
What did that sandworm just eat?
Reporting.
My scouting track is still there. And the other one as well.
Reporting.
Enemy unit destroyed.
What did Shai-Hulud just eat?
Reporting. Reporting.
Oh well, who cares?
Yes, sir.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Reporting. Reporting.
It does not
Yes,
seem
sir.
like a harvest is missing either.
Moving out.
Construction complete.
Reporting.
Enemy unit destroyed.
See, the game is struggling with barely 25 units.
Affirmative.
And of course, the enemies. But I doubt the Harkonnen has 25 on the map.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Well, it is one of the first, so can't blame it.
Reporting.
Enemy unit destroyed. Construction complete. Construction complete. Enemy unit destroyed.
Reporting.
Okay.
Affirmative.
Construction
Seems the
complete.
Harkonnen are having a little
Affirmative.
problem
Reporting.
with
Reporting.
reinforcements.
Affirmative.
So let's
Reporting.
push forward.
Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Infantry. Reporting.
there's
Affirmative.
still one.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Atreides harvester deployed.
Another quad.
Affirmative.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Also, you might have noticed that buildings just randomly
Atreides
start to get
harvester
damaged.
Deployed.
This is
Reporting.
called
Affirmative.
erosion
Reporting.
in this
Reporting.
game, and
Construction
Dune 2000.
Enemy unit destroyed.
You see the
Affirmative.
dry winds
Reporting.
and the
Reporting.
heat and all
Affirmative.
just
Reporting.
destroy things
Affirmative.
slowly. Ah, still can't build more? Well, I doubt I have to explain to you what erosion really is. More spice for me.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Now you see, this is the exact same way how I won this
Moving out.
mission
Yes,
when I
sir.
was a kid.
Moving out.
The only solution
Reporting.
my mind could come up back then.
Affirmative.
Maybe there is
Yes,
a
sir.
better solution or a better strategy to win this. If there is,
Acknowledged. Reporting.
and most
Affirmative.
importantly you can prove it. Post a comment or maybe a video response. I'd like to see that.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Enemy unit destroyed.
But some guidelines if you really want to prove it. You have to play Atreides and you have to play
Reporting. Acknowledged.
the exact
Reporting.
same stage.
Acknowledged.
So one of the 3 lands or
Affirmative.
sectors that are offered to you.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
If
Reporting.
you just say, oh, here's an alternate way to do this, and just post a video of House Harkonnen steamrolling everybody with quads and
Moving out.
troopers,
Yes, sir.
that doesn't
Moving
count.
out. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Still can't get more units.
Reporting. Reporting. Affirmative.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Ah, new harvester.
Reporting.
Atreides harvester deployed.
Reporting.
Maybe now I can get the carry-all trick to work.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting.
There's, by the way, no
Affirmative.
point in
Reporting.
destroying the harvester.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting. Acknowledged.
First it
Reporting.
takes forever with quads.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Also, they just get a new one,
Atreides unit destroyed.
delivered by a carry-all. If this one gets destroyed.
Enemy unit destroyed.
You'll see.
Reporting.
Still trying to get the carry-all trick to work.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Reporting.
See, in my humble opinion,
Reporting.
starting out with House Atreides
Reporting.
is the
Acknowledged.
hardest,
Reporting.
because
Acknowledged.
they have the
Yes,
weakest
sir.
units compared to House Harkonnen. Even the Ordos get troopers, even though it says that House Ordos
Reporting.
doesn't have a standing army.
Affirmative.
Well, they just hired them, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Ah, they're
Acknowledged.
pushing.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Sadly, I cannot
Affirmative.
permit you to... Oh, sorry. Do not attack your own.
Acknowledged.
Attack him. That's right.
Yes, sir. Infantry
Sadly, evil Harkonnen... Oh, there's a new harvester for
out.
them.
Reporting.
Sadly, evil Harkonnen, I cannot let you pass.
Reporting.
This front line
Acknowledged.
must hold.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Otherwise,
Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
this will take
Moving
even
out.
longer.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Ah, we lost some.
Reporting.
Only one.
Reporting.
Enemy unit destroyed.
You know, I don't even care about casualties anymore at this point. I just want to win.
Affirmative.
Atreides harvester
Because this mission is so
Infantry
tedious. There's no fun in it. It's just squads, squads,
Reporting.
squads, 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 squads.
destroyed.
Reporting.
Destroyed means one more
Affirmative.
to create.
Enemy unit
Only one.
destroyed.
Yes, sir.
See, there's a new harvester.
Yes, sir. Infantry.
I think in later
out.
Dune games,
Construction.
that doesn't happen anymore. If the harvest is destroyed, the harvest is destroyed. You have to create one yourself, or build a new refinery.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Oh, don't worry, the missions will get
Unit destroyed.
more entertaining when we get tanks and more advanced weaponry.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving
You know,
out.
I see the logic behind
Reporting.
using quads and trikes in a desert terrain,
Affirmative. Reporting.
since they do not
Acknowledged.
produce as much pressure on
Enemy
the
unit
sand.
destroyed.
But
Acknowledged. Reporting.
their presence does not make
Acknowledged.
that
Reporting.
much sense
Construction complete.
when we talk about
Atreides
fighting.
unit deployed.
Fighting other
Reporting.
people, not fighting
Enemy unit
sandworms.
destroyed.
Affirmative.
In
Reporting.
actuality, if you were to make a real Dune strategy game,
Reporting.
then
Affirmative.
you'd have to make it
Atreides
without
harvester
any
deployed.
vehicles except the harvester. It would be a game purely with infantry,
Reporting.
because as we see in the movie,
Atreides unit destroyed.
they only fight using troops. When the Harkonnen reign over Arrakis, they only use their terror troops.
Moving out.
When House Atreides is reigning over Dune, they use their loyal troops with their weaving modules.
Reporting.
The Fremen have no kinds of vehicles, except ornithopters maybe.
Acknowledged. Reporting.
Because
Enemy unit destroyed.
if you'd have a huge army of tanks, that would attract worms all over the place.
Reporting.
I mean, two people, Jessica and Paul, walking in the sand, even when they're not walking
Moving out.
with rhythmic vibration. You know, walking without rhythm.
Atreides harvester
Even
deployed.
then, a sandworm appears. Well, you could say it's drawn to Jessica or Paul because they have powers or not. But I'm just saying as comparison. So, Dune 2 is actually a little too far away from how battle on Arrakis should look. Because having huge armies
Affirmative.
with tanks,
Acknowledged.
especially
Reporting.
siege tanks,
Acknowledged.
and devastators
Yes,
and
sir.
rocket
Infiltrate
tanks,
out.
that would attract tons of worms. You're just lucky that sandworms in this game are just one tile. In Emperor, sandworms really are more like sandworms, they're huge.
Construction complete.
Although they also come only in one size.
Reporting.
In actuality, there should be
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
different sizes of
Construction
sandworms.
Affirmative. Reporting.
The larger ones
Yes, sir.
can devour entire buildings, while the smaller ones would only devour like people or quads. I'm wondering.
Enemy structure destroyed.
Ah, see?
Reporting.
Strategy is paying off. We are winning. Also, little tip.
Yes, sir.
The moment you destroy an enemy building, put some units where that building was, like that
Our
quad
base
over
is
there.
under attack. Radar deactivated.
Holy shit! What just happened? What? Wait.
Enemy unit destroyed. Enemy unit destroyed.
Are you kidding? I took that building from them?
Enemy unit destroyed.
Yes, sir.
Oh, right. Before I sent an infantryman down here,
Reporting.
and it seems I ordered him to move into the building.
Enemy
See, there's no engineers in this game, like in Dune 2000.
Affirmative.
Engineers first popped up in Red Alert, or
Atreides
Command and
unit
Conquer
destroyed.
Tiberium Dawn. So the only way to take over buildings here is to damage them to the point of red and send some infantry inside. Which rarely works. So just by pure coincidence, we just took this building away from House Harkonnen. That is both awesome and unexpected at the same time. Okay, this is a secured win now.
Atreides unit deployed.
I can just make the quads right in their doorsteps.
Radar activated.
And without their war, and without their light vehicle factory,
Atreides unit destroyed.
they cannot produce more units.
Affirmative. Reporting.
So we're just destroying what's left now.
Acknowledged.
That quad there is already smoking,
Reporting.
and there's a heavy troop down here.
Acknowledged.
So let's just end their misery. See, the construction yard will constantly reproduce whatever building I just destroyed. Some sort of priority subroutine in the enemy AI. They will not produce more buildings, they will just rebuild buildings that have already been there.
Enemy unit destroyed.
So by putting quads where their buildings were,
Enemy structure destroyed. Atreides unit deployed.
that construction yard cannot do said duty.
Reporting. Affirmative.
However,
Reporting.
what the AI will constantly do as well
Affirmative.
is
Reporting.
repair.
Affirmative.
Notice how most of these buildings are still green.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
That harvester is also still working, so
Atreides harvester deployed.
it's hard to tell how much cash the enemy still has, so they will repair constantly all buildings in a futile attempt to still win.
Affirmative.
Too bad for them, I will not let them win.
Construction complete.
Well, yeah, this is basically how you win this mission.
Reporting. Affirmative.
You know, I'm really
Reporting.
interested
Acknowledged.
if one of you guys knows a more effective way to win.
Destroyed.
Affirmative.
I've been playing Dune 2 for most of my life.
Reporting.
Well, not constantly, but you know, returning to it occasionally
Atreides unit
for
deployed.
nostalgia, or because it just burned itself into my childhood memories, so I have this special attachment to Dune 2, among
Construction
other games.
complete.
But I'm getting off track. What I was about to say is, if you know a more effective way to win,
Enemy
post a
unit
comment,
destroyed.
or even better, make a video response
Enemy structure destroyed.
and demonstrate. I'd really love to see how you could win this mission more effectively, because the quad mission is always the one mission that, pardon me, pisses me off.
Reporting.
It's just so tedious, holding back the enemies while they advance. And quads, look at this, quads take forever to destroy anything. They even take forever destroying themselves.
Construction
Tanks at least pack a punch, if you get my drift.
Atreides harvester deployed.
Reporting.
Luckily the awesome music is kinda making this not as bad as it should be. I'm not sure if the MIDI music is also made by Frank Kiplaki. I know
Yes, sir.
Dune 2, Dune 2000, among other Westwood games all have soundtracks made by Frank.
Reporting.
You should check out check out his website, frankkiplaki.com. Gonna put a link in the description for your convenience. So at this point I'm just biding my time, waiting for my quads to ultimately destroy the last 3 buildings.
Construction complete.
But as I said, they take forever.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
I even tried to take over the building with one of my infantry units, but it didn't work. I have no idea why it worked in the first place. Don't attack your friend.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Infantry. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Let's just get this done, please. I'm at the maximum anyway, so I'm just gonna build another silo because I feel like it.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Trust me, it will get way more exciting when we finally get some tanks.
Enemy structure destroyed.
Ah,
Reporting.
so now they can't even get spice anymore for repairs, so this is almost a secured win. Oh, by the way, when a building explodes from the house, Harkonnen, this is the only time you're gonna see infantry.
Acknowledged. Reporting.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Since apparently these buildings are controlled by infantry troops.
Affirmative.
Not civilians or specialists or slaves, just infantry. Or maybe they grab guns and distill suits the moment the building blows up.
Atreides harvester deployed.
Reporting.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Bye bye, Harvester.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Bye bye, random Harkonnen dude.
Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Come on,
Reporting.
guys.
Acknowledged. Reporting.
Finish it.
Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
See, I'm trying to get this infantry soldier to enter the outpost, but he just doesn't feel like it seems. Let's place the silo. You know, I read a guide how you can increase your points at the end
Your mission is complete.
by just harvesting all the spice and letting one building remain. Hurrah! Although I prefer the defense, a fine offense against such a deserving foe as the Harkonnen is a joy to behold, and a reaffirmation of all that is good and right. House Atreides thanks you for your efforts. Why are you holding the same book? Oh, I think that book is great. Yeah, the AI always has almost as much or even more spice than you. Only 13, that's nice. And I didn't lost a single building. Sweet. And I cleared the scoreboard again. The Harkonnen borders were weak, except for one outpost. And I will leave you again at this very selection screen when we go get our tanks and kick even more Harkonnen ass back to DD Prime. Until then, folks, remember, the spice must flow.